Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Tonight, an Eastern Kentucky family is fighting to keep a man on death row. In 1980, a judge sentenced Carew Gene White to death row. He brutally killed 3 members of a Breathitt County family in 1979. In a letter to the family, the Department of Public Advocacy claims he has mental disabilities, and they want to change his sentence to life without the possibility of parole. But as WYMT's Emily Bennett explains, the family of his victims are not backing down.
In 1979, family members found Charles and Lula Gross, along with Sam Cheney, beaten to death in a country store.
We're going to fight until we get justice. We haven't got justice yet.
40 years worth of newspaper clippings now detail their fight to keep the man responsible on death row.
They went through all the trial and know exactly what, he done and how intelligent he was. They know. So we're sticking by the 12 jurors that put him on death row.
They do not believe for 1 second that the claim of a mental disability is true.
He was smart. We always thought he was smart. But of course, he's going to say he's mental. He's trying to get off death row.
Each appeal makes it feel like it's happening all over.
And every time this gets brought up, you can still remember those memories, and I can still see Mom's eyes and her crying and stuff, because of what had happened.
And they do not plan to stop fighting.
We'll overturn his death sentence when he overturns my grandparents' death sentence.
Until they get what they feel is justice. In Breathitt County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
The family met with an attorney from the Attorney General's office today. They invited us to that meeting. However, the attorney asked us to leave. Family members tell us they will meet again on the 19th. A Magoffin County man is behind bars accused of trying to electrocute a woman. Police say 46-year-old Merritt Salyer accused a woman of cheating before plugging in a hairdryer and throwing it into a bathtub while the woman was in it. Salyer is also accused of attacking the woman and damaging several items in the bathroom, including a hot water heater and ripping a door off its hinges. The victim was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. Salyer is charged with assault.
Some of us have seen those mostly sunny skies today. Others are starting to deal with a few of those isolated rain chances. One of those areas is up into Stonecrest and Prestonsburg. You could see some storms out into the distance. I don't think they've gotten hit quite yet. But as we take a look at Jackson, they have seen those sunny skies throughout the day. 87 degrees currently, that dew point of 70, making it feel like those lower 90s. So definitely a muggy evening here in the mountains for some. You'll notice mid to upper 80s for a lot of us. Some of us got pretty close to 90 today, a little bit cooler up into Logan, into West Virginia, where they've seen a little bit more of those rain chances. Upper 60s to lower 70s though for the dew points, especially up into parts of the Big Sandy, Hazard, and Jackson. So like I said, it's definitely been a little bit on the muggy side, feeling like upper 80s to lower 90s for a lot of us. And really, as we head into the weekend, we're going to continue to see that warming trend. But as we scan the skies now, we can see some heavier rain into parts of Magoffin County, definitely some heavy rain in Powell County. We're really going to continue to see these isolated rain chances, but as we head into the weekend, the good news is not looking at a lot of those rain chances. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.
All right, thank you, Paige. New details tonight about the Lincoln County deadly gas line explosion. From a report, we learned 3 pipelines run parallel in that area. The middle one ruptured, ignited, then exploded, sending 66 million cubic feet of natural gas hundreds of feet into the air. It caused a 50 feet long, 35 feet wide, 13 foot deep crater. The pipeline was built in 1942, making it 77 years old. The NTSB is investigating the cause. The report states that once the lines are allowed to reopen and start moving gas again, they will have to initially be run at 20% reduced pressure. The Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter in Perry County has enacted its first euthanasia alert for dogs in 4 years. The shelter is running out of space. The space allows for 75 dogs, but currently they are housing nearly 130. Allie Mullins, who works at the shelter, says euthanasia is the last resort, but right now they do not have any room and there is not enough workers for all of them.
They have to sit in their kennels. We clean each one, feed each one, and water each one. And then by that time, it's dark, time to go home, so they don't really get played with.
The animal shelter has several types of dogs right now, including pugs, German shepherds, Yorkies, and pit bulls. The shelter is asking for people interested in adopting a dog to come before Tuesday. More discussions today over the future of Pineville Community Hospital. Before city leaders went into closed session, Mayor Scott Maiden mentioned a potential investor allowed hospital services to start again after initially closing Wednesday evening. Maiden said they plan to discuss the legalities surrounding the hospital's current condition in closed session. We still have not heard what decisions were made, if any, during that special called meeting earlier today. Safety is an early focus for Kentucky lawmakers ahead of the new legislative year. Representative Robert Goforth of Laurel County has pre-filed a bill requiring cameras on school bus stop signs. The goal is to cut down on the number of people speeding around school buses. Hillary Thornton talked to Representative Goforth about the bill.
It is likely you've either heard a tragic story or seen firsthand a close call between children getting on or off a school bus and a vehicle disregarding the bus's stop sign.
I think we owe it to our children to make sure that we provide a safe environment for them while they're traveling, getting on and off of the school bus, and potentially save some lives.
Republican Representative Robert Goforth saying he believes it is time for a system to be in place to catch violators, calling for a statewide mandate for cameras on the stop arms of school buses.
Be motion activated, and it will catch the license plate image.
A citation for $200 issued for the first offense, the second offense within 3 years jumping to $500.
Representative Goforth says while the feedback he is getting is mostly positive, he is hearing some concerns about how exactly the school districts will pay for this.
9,000 active school buses across Kentucky, potentially maybe $1,500 a bus. That's $13.5 million. We have over an $11 billion budget.
While Representative Goforth thinks the state could find the money because he believes this safety bill should be a top priority, he doesn't think it will be necessary. He says there are options for districts like using money generated from the citations or even leasing the equipment from a company in exchange for a percentage of the citation money.
We have to worry about saving lives. That's what it comes down to.
At the Capitol, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
If this bill were to become state law, it would require the cameras on all buses by August of 2023. Well, many kids went back to school this week, and on WYMT.com you can find out what districts start back next week. Some begin on Tuesday. Those include Harlan and Magoffin counties. The latest school district we could find going back in our area is Morgan County. School doesn't start there until the 28th. Former House Speaker Jeff Hoover has dropped a lawsuit. It demanded a woman give back the money she was paid in a secret settlement. The woman was a former Republican staffer. She claimed Hoover and two other lawmakers sexually harassed her. Everyone involved agreed to drop the lawsuit. Late this afternoon, we learned another Eastern Kentucky coal company plans to sell its mines. Cambrian Coal filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy back in late June. Today, the Lexington Herald-Leader reports the Pike County company plans to put up its assets for bid, much like Black Jewel did recently. Now, if a judge approves the plan, the company will auction off its assets in September. The 11th would be the bid deadline. The auction would be on the 18th with a sales hearing on the 24th. The company employs about 660 employees in Eastern Kentucky and Virginia. Cambrian CEO Jim Booth resigned less than 2 weeks before the company filed bankruptcy. This weekend, a Lexington church will bring down school supplies for Harlan County students impacted by the Black Jewel bankruptcy case. About 60% of students were impacted. Heritage Baptist Church is stepping in to help. They will be at Harlan County High School Sunday around 1 o'clock to hand out supplies donated by people in and around Lexington. A clothing giveaway at the Knott County Sportsplex is allowing families to fill their wardrobe needs. 110 families had already stopped by the giveaway earlier today. WYMT's Madison Pergram has more.
Clothes for those in need.
It's really hard to get clothes right now with all the bills and everything.
A growing need with school just around the corner.
That 14th, my daughter starts back, and my little boy needed clothes too.
It's not only a need for Natasha Hurley, but for families across the region.
I realize that there's a lot of families that need these items before school starts.
Something Elizabeth Combs, a volunteer, has experienced herself.
You see kids that come to school and their clothes won't button around their waist because they've grown so much in such a short amount of time that it's really hard.
And personally knows all too well.
I've got a lot of children myself, so I realize how hard it is to keep up whenever they're growing like crazy.
One of her children, Katie Ritchie, came to help out.
I thought I'd come help sort through it and let people get what they need.
Along with a couple from New Mexico.
Y'all are the sweetest people. You're so caring and giving, and it's a joy to be here.
For Wendy Krause, there is a purpose to traveling so far.
To help the people of Kentucky, to love the people of Kentucky, and that's not hard.
Leaving an impact.
They get excited about clothes more than kids should, I guess.
And brightening people's day. In Knott County, Madison Program, WYMT Mountain News.
The giveaway is providing clothes for all ages and sizes. It will also take place tomorrow at the Sportsplex from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. or until the clothes run out.
And a drier pattern sets up as we head into the next few days, but those temperatures, they're going to be on the rise. I'll have a look at that and more coming up in just a few short minutes.
But first, we'll have some of the sights and sounds from this year's Nibrock Festival in Corbin.